Today we're going to look at possibly the greatest match ever televised. It featured arguably the best PBA player on tour at the time against possibly the best female bowler in the UK. I'm referring to Chris Barnes and Kirsten Penny. It was 2008 at the World Tenpin Masters, which was held in Barnsley in the UK using a one-lane setup. 16 of the best bowlers in the world were competing, and the match that involved Barnes and Penny took place in the quarter-finals. As mentioned at the start of this video, this match was simply incredible and is arguably one of the greatest matches ever televised. So in today's video we're going to break this match down in detail. Now, I'm very lucky to be joined by a special guest in this video, and that person is Andy Penny. Andy is the father of Kirsten, and it's fantastic that he's alongside me today as he will be able to give us some fantastic insights into this match. So welcome, Andy. Thank you for joining us here.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you for asking.
So Andy's been involved in the game for some time now, and I'm sure many of you who are listening would have come across Andy in one capacity or another. But for those of you who haven't, Andy runs the Ballmaster Pro Shop, which is located in Dunstable in England, which is where we're currently recording this video. And apart from being an incredible ball driller, Andy is also an outstanding coach, having coached a number of national teams to numerous gold medals in a variety of international competitions. So Andy, just before we jump in and start discussing the match, tell us a little bit about what you're doing at the moment and with the Pro Shop and the coaching, etc. What's been going on?
Well, coaching is going along very nicely. So is the shop, actually. It's business has picked up for a lot of people. You know, after lockdown, it took a while to warm up again, let's say. And although the Pro Shop's doing well, I think there is it's a smaller number of people that are participating in a lot of different events. So we'll just have to wait and see what the future brings. But currently, everything's good.
It's good that you've been keeping busy. Have you found that, I guess, a lot of your coaching has now shifted perhaps to online still, or is it a mixture of both, in person and online?
It's a mixture. I think online, definitely for the people that can't get here in a short space of time, an hour's journey or so. Now with technology, it's much easier for us to look at videos and be able to discuss things with people. They'll be able to see the video, and we can break the video down and talk over the internet. So it's much more accessible now, video online coaching. Nothing beats face to face. Don't ever anybody ever let you tell you that it does, but online is now the next best thing with the technology available to us.
Yeah, and so on that subject of like online coaching, I mean, I've heard quite a lot lately about Bowl U, and I know that you're connected to that. So yeah, what is it? Tell us a little bit more about Bowl U.
Bowl U is almost a movement in bowling. It is a system of understanding bowling that is the umbrella for everything else that you do. You can get to the line and deliver the ball however you like, even though in Bowl U we do have a training program for the physical game, and actually you will get to where you want to be a lot quicker than traditional methods. But at the end of it all, it's all about what the ball is doing as it goes down the lane, and that's where Bowl U has the drop on everybody, I believe, in the speed that you can learn to play the game at a much higher level and really understand what's going on rather than guessing all the time. I would say that's where it has its most effect, is ball motion. The way that Bowl U explains it and makes it easier for people to understand is the biggest thing about Bowl U, is the speed of which you can understand and move forward, which is what we all want to do. We all want to learn more quickly. We're all busier. We haven't got as much time as we used to have. It seems we have more leisure time, but definitely you can spend that on your bowling, and you can learn to get where you want to be a lot more quickly with Bowl U.
And if people want to check out Bowl U, where do they need to go? How do they find out more?
Yeah, there's a website, bowluinternational.com. Just Google Bowl U, it'll come up. There's Bowl U Facebook. There, you just Google Bowl U, and it's exactly as it sounds, BOWLU. And if you Google that, you'll find all of the platforms that it's present on.
Okay, brilliant. I will leave a link to it as well in the description of this video too. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, let's move on to the match in question that we started this video with. Now, this featured Chris Barnes. It was in 2008. Chris Barnes that was pretty much in his prime against Kirsten Penny, who was probably the best female bowler at that time. So Andy, I mean, it's a privilege to have you here because you'll be able to give us some fantastic insights into this match. So perhaps tell us a little bit about how did Kirsten prepare for that match? You know, you're going up against a guy like Chris Barnes. What's sort of the thought process when you're facing somebody like that, and how did you kind of help her prepare for that?
Well, interestingly, I haven't seen the video for a while, and I hope that this time that I see it that she wins it, because she does play amazingly, and like you said at the start, it is, you know, you would win matches 99 times out of 100 playing how Kirsten played or how she played. But in preparation, you're not playing the man, you're playing the lanes, and you're not playing the person. The moment that you tie yourself up in knots about who is on the other side and your opponent, you're already behind the 8 ball, or you know, you're already down a little bit because you're thinking about the wrong things. All you need to do is be thinking about your own game, and in terms of, you need to normalize things from a mental aspect. Normalize it, don't build it up, bring it down to the everyday. You've bowled and you've played shots, you've played thousands and thousands of shots, and it will be no different. The minute you start to build something up, then you build that tension in your mind and you create a what if scenario, and then you're off on that trail of to self-destruction really at the end of it all. So yeah, you just need to normalize things, keep it simple, keep it normal, just go out there, go through your pre-shot routine, make the best shot you can each time, and then that's all you can do. You control the controllables, everything else is out of your control. You can't do anything about it, so you just have to go with it. Just understand it and make your shots the best they can be.
Yeah, it's a good point as well you made there about not playing the person that's opposite you and just focusing on your own game and your own game plan. Because as we see, Chris will just do what Chris does, and that's strike quite a lot. So let's just talk about quickly the format then. So this was a one-lane setup. It was the quarterfinals, and she'd already won a match previously. Now I'll test your memory here. Do you remember? Do you remember the man that Kirsten played in the first round?
No, it escapes me now because it's all a blur, really. Was it Tora? No, it wasn't Tora. No, I can't think.
So I can tell you, Andy, it was actually Ryan Ladisang from Singapore who she faced in the first round, and she had a pretty good first round, shooting 504 over 2 games, and that was the format of this tournament. It was a 2-game total pinfall, with the winner advancing. So with the 2-game kind of total pinfall, and obviously you've got the 1-lane setup as well, which plays a big factor with this being held in Barnsley. So just sort of talk about the first game then, the first like initial few shots on this 1-lane setup. What was the kind of game plan, and like how did that change? Was there anything that changed in the first couple of frames on that 1-lane?
Well, I mean, they redress the lane every time, and all the players get to practice on it for a few minutes before each match. So, yeah, it can vary over the day. And then, of course, whoever you're playing against, they will change the lane condition as well. So you just teach or take each match on its own merit and read the lane for what you see. Play what's in front of you is one of my favourite expressions. I have a hashtag, PIFU. Play what's in front of you. You know, you have to just deal with what's there. Like we said earlier, you're not playing the person, you're playing, if anything, okay, you might be playing their knowledge of how to break that lane down against your knowledge of how to break that lane down. That's what you're doing, but you're certainly not playing the man. You're just watching your ball motion. Watch the ball go through the pins, right off the pin deck. Even back then, it was very important to do that. A lot of people don't realise how important it is. The earliest indication that you're ever going to get of the lane changing is where the ball goes off the pin deck.
Okay, yeah, so as you can see here on your screens, this is the start of the match, the first game out of 2. So this is the first shot now from the first game, and Kirsten's up in the first frame.
Light hit. Yep. See by her face there, it wasn't really expected reaction. Even then, even after practice, the lane would have changed a little bit.
Do you remember what the lane pattern was for this? Because it looks very long.
I can't remember it. No, I mean it'll be. Yeah, I've got. You're talking 80. How many years ago? 2008. 14 years ago. Can't even add up. 15 years ago. Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe it's that. Like I said, I haven't watched this for a while, but as I watch it, maybe some things will come back to me.
Because I think we see from Chris's shot here that he's having like a similar kind of reaction to what Kirsten had in the first frame. And that one actually was way inside by the looks of it. But...
And, people, they will be getting reads off each other. That's exactly what you do in these sort of matches and in any match and in any tournament. You be looking around and seeing what other people are doing and seeing where their ball is at certain points down the lane so that you can get a read off of them and make an adjustment to your shot.
So let's now take a look at this kind of shot that Chris is throwing, because after the first one he was inside and went high and made a better shot in the following frame. So tell us your thoughts, Andy, on like Chris's ball reaction that he's got there. What do you kind of see looking back at that now about how he's sort of attacking the lane?
Well, as you can see, that rev rate and speed, that's what I was there to do. I was working behind the scenes with Sky, showing the rev rate with the cat lane back then that is now morphed into Specto. And yeah, that was my job, was to be analysing and providing that data. So they've now both worked it out and they're both pretty much lined up, and it'll just be blow for blow now, as I remember.
So that was Chris's fourth. I think that's 419 his rev rate, which is
420. That
about.
And at the time, that was a high rev rate. It's been superseded now.
Yeah, so straight away the scores then after 3 frames, both players pretty much just
toe like I said, they're into their stride now. They've both worked it out. I said to you, I might keep saying it, but it is a long time since I've watched this. Looking a little more settled now and more pleased with how things are going.
And you said that these would have been dressed after the previous match as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Dressed for every match.
So when you look at Chris, the way he's obviously each shot he's looking more comfortable. I mean, how does that kind of play an impact on what you're doing? Like if you're in Kirsten's, I know we spoke about this previously, but he's looking very good early on.
I wouldn't be looking at him at all, and I wouldn't think. The only thing you would be looking at is the ball motion. Is to, once the ball has hit the down lane zone and watching how it reacts from there and how it goes through the pocket and through the pins, the deflection and off the lane. That's all we would be interested in.
So the only thing I would say is looking at comparing the two, you'd say Chris's shots have been maybe just a little bit more flush. Like Kirsten's just been a little bit lighter
hit. Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing, but that's just
sometimes,
what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean, they're both getting the job done. Yep, he's definitely bouncing it off the dry out there. There's a lucky one for Chris, and he knew it. Yeah, that one did hit the dry a little bit earlier and almost didn't make it to the pocket. Could have left anything in that ball. Yeah, he liked it.
So that shot was... What do you think, Andy?
Well, obviously it was light. Must have maybe clipped a bit of oil, maybe was a little inside on the, coming off the oil, just a little further inside, didn't turn the corner. Maybe, now, this stage, they've pushed some oil down a little bit. Let's see what Chris does if he makes a move off of Kirsten's shot. Great shot. Still flush. Let's see if Kirsten now makes an adjustment.
So right now, I think Chris is working on 6 in a row. So there is a little bit of not pressure, but I guess it's the fine margins, isn't it? It's that fine margin of Kirsten leaves a 10-pin, and Chris gets away with a bit of a lucky break, and another lucky break there. So
they're trading breaks blow for blow then, although. that shot Kirsten's that was, a little light, just didn't carry on that previous frame. There you go.
Do you think there's carry down, like from that shot? It looked like there was, perhaps because it looked a better shot than the previous one, but it still didn't quite make it back.
Yeah, there's 100% should have made an adjustment from that last shot. The unfortunate thing is that right now you can't see the adjustments that they're making, and it's still very hard to see players make adjustment. When I'm there behind the scenes, and it's still very hard to pick it up. Even with cats, with cats we can see that they've made an adjustment, but with the naked eye, it's very difficult to see that they've made a 1 or a 2 board movement with their feet. But you can just see from where the ball's laid down from cats. That's why cats and Specto makes it so much more interesting, because you can now see exactly what moves they've made. Again, if there's been any transition, then it will settle down for a while now.
So Kirsten can max out for 259. Is that correct?
269.
269.
Yeah.
Your maths is better than mine.
Just looked.
And Barnes is still, I think he's now working on 7, can max for 290. And just another really good shot from Chris there. It's at this point he's probably sitting there thinking he wishes it was a 1-game match.
Yeah.
So we see there Chris finishing up perfect in the 10th for a 290. And Kirsten had a 248. So she bowled a very good game, but she's still got a bit of a mountain to climb heading into the last game.
Yeah, she needs a very good start in the next game.
So we've jumped ahead now to game 2, and after 6 frames, Kirsten's had an excellent start, 6 for 6 strikes, and it's just kind of what she needs really, because she's facing a very, very locked-in Chris Barnes, who shot a 290 in the first game.
His reaction there tells you that maybe that was inside. Yeah, there you go. That was inside. Let's see on his next shot. Let's see if he does. Yeah, there we go. Look, he's giving himself a good old talking to there. So got away with that one.
So as we can see, Chris here is just keeps on rolling after shooting a 290 in the first game. He's thrown the first 7 strikes, as has Penny. So both are still chasing perfection in game number 2. But if Chris keeps striking, he will very soon shut Kirsten out. So there's not too much she can do really, apart from just keep striking.
He's had 19 in a row up to this point. Chris, yeah.
And I think with her being
7
on the front
earlier.
on the front 8, it kind of gets you in the zone a bit, and it helps you not worry that your opponent's throwing that 19 straight strikes. It kind of focuses you in a way. So she's doing all that she can do at this point.
Yeah, correct. There's nothing more she can do except keep striking. And if he keeps striking, like we said, it's not, if you're thinking about the man and playing the man, all you can do is control what you can do. So I guess right now all you're doing is hoping that he doesn't carry on striking. There's nothing else you can do. You can't do anything about it if he does. You can't do anything about it if he doesn't, except that if he doesn't, then you have a chance to win the match. But you would still be thinking the same way and making the best shot you can.
So what does Chris need to shut Kirsten out? He's currently on the front 9 with a 290 in the first.
Well, unless he opens, he'll have 268, won't he? So 268 and 290, 558. So yeah, he's done already. He could 9. He needs 9 spare. He would need a 9 spare, not 9. Yeah. If he has a 9 spare, he'll have 268, wouldn't he? Yeah, 9 in a row. There you go. Now he's being magnanimous. He knows he's won already.
Yeah.
He could be smile now.
Now it's just all about whether they can both get the job done for a perfect game and to entertain the Barnsley crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, and there it was, the 10 pin. Just a frame too late.
But do you know what? I actually, to the naked eye, watching that now, I think that's actually probably one of the better shots you put down. I thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looked really,
it was
pretty good.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit, but yeah.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, exactly. You couldn't have called that 10 pin from that shot. It was pretty good. He was pretty happy with that.
So he's got the job done now and advances to the next match. And if he strikes here, he shot 270, 279? 290, 279. I mean, what can you do, Andy?
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, it's pretty special.
But what makes this match so special is not that just Chris Barnes was so dominant in 2 games. It's the fact that Kirsten pretty much matched him, really, for the sake of a couple of shots that didn't carry.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And, now I do know that all she wants to do now is shoot 300 on TV. To shoot 300 on TV, still a dream for everyone. And that's all she wants to do. In that respect, if there is any pressure anywhere, then, yeah, that's the only... Just now, like you say, to entertain the crowd.
Would there have been any prize money for 300 on TV?
I don't honestly... I would have thought so. There definitely... Yeah, and if... Yeah, there would have been. I'm sure there would have been. I think the first prize was 20,000 anyway. Yes, bit of a wry smile again there.
And let's say if she was to shoot a 300, do you think that would have had any kind of... would it have helped soften the blow of bowling so well and yet going out? Like, what can you take from that, having shot,
like I said, I think, that... Yeah, exactly that. See, now everybody's going for the big one, the last frame. Yeah, that would have been... It's still, it's only 1 pin, 299 to 300, It's only 1 pin, but it's that all-important pin. Let's see.
We'll see what happens on this shot. Was it 298? I thought it was 298.
Was it 298? Oh, was it 298? Oh, there we go.
I don't know.
Was it only 298? Was it that soft?
We'll soon see. I might be wrong.
Was it 298?
I think it...
Is it an 8?
I think it's an 8 count.
Oh, God.
Let's see.
Shows how bad my memory is. Oh, yeah, the 298. How can I remember that? How can I forget that? Yeah, I've got to go back to that. Yeah, 298. Yeah, I mean, yeah, look, he was...
I think Chris, he must have appreciated that.
Oh, yeah, he knew he'd been in a match, yeah. That's what I mean. You could see that. That one bounced off a little bit. She just wanted the 300 would have been it.
And aside
298, yeah, Jesus. I see in my mind it's 299 all those years.
Well, you've learned something.
Yeah. No, it was 298. Yeah, I can remember it now.
So we see the final scores there, a 569 and a 546. I mean, what a match. It doesn't really get much better than that, really. It doesn't. So that brings us to an end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed reliving this classic match. And thank you, Andy, for your insight. It was for somebody who was there and saw it happen and was obviously so close to Kirsten. It was fantastic to get your input about everything that was going on, and I hope you enjoyed reliving that match.
I just need to watch it another 100 times to try and see if she wins it. Yeah, it was a fantastic match. Chris, right at the top of his game, like you said at the time. 20, however many he had in a row, 20 odd in a row. But Kirsten, she had she had 11, so she had 15 in a row as well. You're not going to lose too many matches on a 546, that's for sure. You're going to win a lot more than you lose. But there you go, playing against one of the greatest of all time. So.
And just one more thing. So after this was in 2008, and she didn't really let it get her down because she had some pretty big success shortly after that.
Yeah, at that time the Arab swing of the tournaments in the Middle East were paying big money, and she came up against Woo Soo Hong in the final of the Qatar Open, and the first prize was $50,000. And Kirsten stepped up. What she really wanted to do in that match, she had an 8-pin bonus, but she hadn't used it at any point, and she just wanted to play and beat Woo Soo or beat everybody and not use the bonus. She wanted to be on an equal footing, and so she stood up in the 10th frame and punched out a 3-bagger and won the match, and didn't need to use the bonus at all. So that was very rewarding and very satisfying for her. And I should have guessed that $50,000 helped a little bit as well.
It's always a nice little bonus.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks again, Andy. I really appreciate it, and hope to have you on again soon. I'm sure we could come up with hundreds of topics that we could discuss.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you.